Hey everybody, what's going on? I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary, revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your celestial wisdom for the week of November. I'm actually going to do 19th through the 30th. So I realize the 30th is Thursday next week. I'll give you a little bit more information. I'll do another video next week as well, just to keep you updated. But I want to put some pins on the map for you, even though this is now the 21st that I'm recording it. I'm going to talk about some of the energy influences that we've probably been feeling and having, and then also some things that may be coming up in the next week, 5 to 7 days. And just to keep us in the moment, because we know energy can shift and change, and it does. I mean, it's crazy, right? I'm back from mystery school. Thank you so much for your patience, your understanding about me being out of office like that. Part of the reason why it was difficult for me to get a video done, just as things ramp up, it's just one of those things. So here we are. And, on Monday, the 20th, we had Mercury trining Chiron, and the moon was canoodling or conjunct Saturn in Pisces. And so Monday into Tuesday might be, especially because Tuesday, Venus is opposing Chiron. Remember, Chiron is our wounded healer, but it's the great teacher as well. And the wounds is the crack, if you will, where the light comes in. And we very often teach we most need to learn, and we have these gifts and these skills. And so when you've got Mercury trining Chiron, Venus opposing Chiron, then the moon, which is our emotional body, it's what we need to nurture and feel good for ourselves. When it's canoodling Saturn, which consolidates, has a heavier energy to it, there's very often that our thoughts, stories that we tell ourselves, they can start scratching some wounds. They can trigger some things for us. There can be a lot of emotions that are all over the board. And with Venus sitting here opposite Chiron today on the 21st, it can very much show up through relationship dynamics. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic relationships. It's more about that relationship to love itself, right? So how do we love ourselves, or how do we give and receive love from others, whether it's a friend, a lover, a spouse, whatever. And then as we are processing all of this energy on Wednesday, the 22nd, the sun will move into Sagittarius, where it really likes to be there. It's another fire sign, Sagittarius is, because the sun is the ruler of Leo and it's exalted in Aries. But here comes Sagittarius, another fellow fire sign like Leo and Aries. And it's like, yeah, I need some truth here. I'm ready to expand my horizons, go on adventures, take on some new energy. And so that's what we're going to be looking at as the sun transits through the sign of Sagittarius. But we're going to want direct experiences as well. So these adventures we're having are going to be less mental and more physical, more experiential. We tend to get a little more optimistic during this time as well. The sun is very optimistic. Sagittarius is an optimistic sign. It's ruled by Jupiter. So we have all this expansive energy that needs to go somewhere. But, it makes it a little difficult sometimes when we still have work to do. A lot of people are wrapping up year end, right? Here we are coming to the end of the year. One of the shadow sides of the sun in Sagittarius is that a lot of exaggerations can happen. And there can be a bit of embellishing. So not everything is quite true, even though Sagittarius is a seeker of truth. But sometimes there could be a few white lies. Don't be surprised if people are lying because they want to impress, or they want to share a story that tends to be a little bigger than it actually is. Now on Thursday, the 23rd, Mars is going to be at the last degree of Scorpio, this 29 degrees anaretic crisis moment. The moon will be canoodling Chiron. So when you've got this kind of tension energy, this kind of discomfort that can often happen, and this is on Thanksgiving, well, we have to pay attention that it could be harm or healing for us. If you're getting together with family and maybe it's the first time that you've done this in a while, or, this is the past has been a little bit of a shit show, that this could be a time where things are very healing, and it can be a sweet and precious time. If you're someone who the holidays are really difficult because you've lost loved ones, this could stir up that pain, that grief, but it also can offer some healing here for you as well. Because remember, what we don't feel, we can't heal. So we want to go through those emotions And the biggest thing is that you have support. If it's one person, if it's a group of people, whatever it might be, have support, especially during this day on Thursday, on Thanksgiving. Of course, I have to say happy Thanksgiving. I don't believe we need one day alone. We should be grateful every day, because gratitude is really how we manifest. And it's also how we can approach anything in life to be able to say, you know what, I'm grateful for even this negative thing because it's teaching me something, or it's bringing me an opportunity to use a skill that I've been trying to practice. And then even if there's something positive, of course, then the gratitude helps to bring that manifestation even faster for us. So Friday, Mars then ingresses into Sagittarius. So now we're going to have the sun and Mars in fire sign Sagittarius. So we may find ourselves really motivated to get to the truth, to find out what really is true for us. What's really, is this person really telling me the truth? And truth is relative, depends on, a lot of different factors, right? But with the Mars in Sagittarius, we'll find ourselves seeking adventures, like I say, new ways to broaden our horizons. That's going to be a double thing going on with the sun and Mars. And what we may find is planning trips far and wide, right? Going abroad. Maybe some of you moving for another country for a job during this time, or you start planning for, say, a New Year's adventure. There's a lot of things that can happen there. Remember, with all this fiery energy, and with Mars and the sun here, there could be a bit of restlessness that shows up, and all this like energy. I got to move it. We need to find healthy ways to do it. Sagittarius loves competition. It likes moving its body. And so I would say, work out, go for a hike, get outside in nature. I'm going to be skiing. Thank you. I got cleared to ski again. So even if I'm going to be on the baby runs, I'm at least going to be able to make a turn or two and maybe more. And so I'm grateful for that. So that's how I'm going to channel this energy. And this all leads us up to Monday, which is a full moon in Gemini. And so Mars is going to be canoodling with the sun at this full moon. So we're going to have Mars and sun opposite the moon in Gemini, which could have us maybe having verbal diarrhea if we're not careful. But a lot of information comes to light. We're releasing ideas, we're releasing truths out into the world. There may be some friendships that are having to be let go because they're just not toxic. If it's a connection that has taken a toll on us, that has really been a detriment to our well-being, this full moon could have us letting it go. Competitions run high, and motivation to expose the truth comes here, right? Where it's like, do you really feel that way? Was that really true what you had told me? Are you really, am I in a third party situation? Things like that. Local connections, your community and friendships that energize you, though, should ramp up. So I would say the weekend before this full moon, this coming weekend, there's probably going to be a lot more activities that you're planning or that you're getting together with friends and doing things. Do watch emotions, as they could run amok, and really what can trigger us is something someone says. And yes, our words can harm or heal, but keep in the back of your mind, it's just words. And it's somebody's view, it's somebody's judgment, somebody's perception, interpretation of something. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be your truth. And that's what we're going to be bungee cording back and forth of, like, I'm hearing these things either about me or about something, but it doesn't ring true for me, so I'm not going to own it, right? Or what was said feels like truth for me. Now I need to question my own belief system. Maybe I need to question what I thought was true, So there's going to be some of this, like, I'll say soul searching that could show up during this time as well. But we can use this as an opportunity to learn, to grow through direct experience, through maybe taking on a new course. Maybe there's something. So for me, for those of you who don't know, I'm looking to do more teaching next year. I'm also looking at doing some sort of community or group experience that can support. So stay tuned for that. But that's part of what this full moon is wrestling up for me, is to get more into the group and community experience. Wednesday, so I'm moving into the week after the full moon on Monday. Wednesday, November 29th, Venus is going to make a brief connection with the South Node. It's going to conjunct or canoodle, as I like to say, with our South Node. So there could be some relationship topics or past relationships that show up during this time. But I think there's going to be resolution, especially if something got stirred up at that full moon. There's going to be possibly some financial matters that need resolution. This is a good time for that to happen. We can also find real good comfort in the relationships if they have like the feminine qualities, that open receptivity, the nurturing. If some of us go through any major shakeups in our relationships at the full moon, this is a time where we can take refuge in the relationships, the friendships that help us to feel supported and nurtured. Friday, December 1st. I know I said the 30th, but I'm going all the way to Friday because Mercury is going to make its move into Capricorn, which Mercury will retrograde in December at the end of December. Well, really Christmas time, Mercury is going to be retrograding, but it makes its move into Capricorn. And then following week, we start the shadow. But this is a time where we may become more serious about the information that we take on or the information we give out. We become more calculating and methodical with our ideas, putting agendas together. We also might be thinking about what we've achieved. It's a perfect end of the year energy to have. What did I achieve this year? What do I want to achieve next year? Let me get some real steps down. How do I get that promotion? Or how do I make something feel accomplished in my life? If I feel like something has been stagnant, now I'm going to want to step by step, conversation, plan, whatever, of how to get things done. It's going to be practical. It's going to be down to earth. And if I stick with this, I can make it happen. We do have to watch out for when Mercury's in Capricorn. There could be some condescending tones that come out when we're speaking to others, sort of the know-it-all mentality that can show up, and it can get translated that way. So we do want to watch out for that. But Mercury in Capricorn is a time for us to really do some good planning, do some evaluating, and come back to, the more practical, tangible things in life. And that's going to help us feel a little more secure because these are not easy times for anybody. And we're struggling, So now, as I like to remind us, let's lean in, lift each other up, support each other. And I do hope that everyone can find one thing to smile about for this Thanksgiving week. Please know how grateful I am for each and every one of you. Thank you for your love, your support. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. This is how the channel grows, and I can keep offering information to you. Find me at jamiedawn.com, one to listen, and I look forward to connecting with you. Take care, everybody.